Welcome to the Keeping Up Appearances podcast. I'm Callum Murray, and with me is
Bob Cole,
Sean O'Hara,
and Michael Tosh.
It's Carney, what's he going to do? Ready! Jackson, ready! Oh, yes!
So, unfortunately, the Keeping Up Appearances team are a member down today. Tosh is otherwise engaged with work. Yeah, rest in pieces. But he will be phoning in with his guests for the Keeping Up Appearances game. He just won't be here to review or preview the matches. But on that note, it was a very exciting North London derby. Anyone have any thoughts?
Bob?
Yeah, it was kind of the dream derby for the neutral, really, with so much going on, so many, well, not that many controversial elements to it. I think Nketiah was very lucky to not be sent off, but since end to end, pretty much all game, really. So pretty happy from the neutral perspective. I say neutral, I did want Tottenham to win just because Ange emerges the nicest man in the world. But then I still hate Son, so kind of bounce it back out.
Where are you on Arteta?
So love him. I booed him once when he first left, but I remembered that I loved him, so he's back in favour. I'm sure he'll be thrilled.
Yeah. When did you remember? On the way home?
Yeah. I can't remember how old I was, but I think I must have been too old to be booing at somebody. I just realised that.
Clap immediately.
Yeah.
That's what he was doing.
Yeah, I realised I need to pack it in, so it's probably almost immediate.
To be fair, I thought it was a good game. Obviously, I predicted the 2-2, which was the North London derby, famous for no draws, as Sean said last week.
I maybe
is it actually?
To be fair, there's not many draws in it really over the years, but I felt that there was going to be a lot of goals in it, as I said last week, and I thought 2-2 would have been a good shout. I think it was 12-1 actually for it to be 2-2.
Don't know why I'm saying that. I've got no idea what that means.
But it means that wasn't very likely. But and I should have put money on it. But it was good to get the kudos between the Keeping Up Appearances gang anyway for the prediction.
Even though I've realised last week that predictions mean nothing in this game. No, don't worry about it, Cal.
But it was a good game. I think end to end, I thought it turned when Gabriel Jesus missed that chance where he sort of nicked the ball from Maddison.
Yeah.
And he sort of blazed over the bar, then sort of it woke Tottenham up a bit. But to be fair, it was both teams that just kind of hit each other with punches. It was a bit like a boxing match in that sense. They were just kind of, jabbing each other all the way through the game, and then sort of a bit of a knockout punch when they scored, and the other team were getting back up. And I mean, to take the lead, then lose it so quickly as they did with that second goal, I think over the years, or over the recent years anyway, it's kind of just like typical Arsenal. But I think it showed a bit of a new Tottenham, possibly definitely different from the Tottenham we've seen last year. Then to be able to sort of fight back twice, especially so quickly in that second one. I thought Tottenham looked good, and both teams had more chances, to be fair, as well, I thought. But definitely a good game, an exciting game. And yeah, I think both teams will be up there or thereabouts. I think based on that, I think they look like they both got something about them. But yeah, enjoyable game.
I've just remembered what I was going to say about it, because in the lead up to the game, when the starting 11s were announced, and it was Jesus and Nketiah, and they were raving about Arsenal's attacking options, and Gary Neville was saying he preferred Jesus playing wide and stuff like that, and that system's really going to work for them, and all of a sudden they don't win one game, and they're saying Arsenal haven't got a killing cutting edge centre forward, but it just shows how fickle the coverage always is.
Yeah, definitely. I think Arsenal probably missed Martinelli on the left, and they have maybe to shoe on like Jesus or whatever it was. I also think they missed Declan Rice in the second half massively. I think Declan Rice has been such a key player for them. I think he was massively missed in the second half. In terms of Tottenham's players, though, I thought that is it Udogie? Is that how you pronounce his name?
Udogie,
yeah, he was like ridiculously good. I thought that Basuma played well as well. To be fair, he's quite raw in how he plays, isn't he? Sort of. I don't know, I think sometimes he looks a bit untidy, but a bit like ungamely, but I thought he was great as well. And Maddison really good. Obviously, took a couple of those risks where he sort of lost it in the area and that, but that seems to be the way they play. And the impressive thing is that he kept on wanting it, and Maddison kept on wanting it, which he's just that type of player. But Tottenham seems to have this thing now where they will just keep playing in and around the box and keep looking at those triangles and stuff. And no matter if it's working or not, it's obviously just like a pattern of play that they want to use. Which I think when you see teams like that, it's impressive. Really, they're not like, you don't bottle it. It's obviously that's something that they're committed to. Yeah, I thought they'd done it really well, because I think Arsenal are so good at pressing, really good at pressing. But yeah, it was a good game.
If you think, though, Carl, you're saying about like Tottenham are almost like always wanting the ball and always like happy to keep going with the same like style of play. Does that change if in a couple of years they're like title contenders? And because that's kind of where Arsenal are now, isn't it? Where like they had a good season last season, and then now the pressure's on them. Like, you think that's obviously that's a draw, and this might sound stupid, but Tottenham are the winners of that game, aren't they? Like, as
they were saying before the game, it was like a free hit because he had this great start of the season, and it's almost the write-off.
Exactly.
Now, because you don't know what to expect.
If they lose that game, it's one of them where you go, we lose to last season's league leaders for most of the season. But if they get in and out of that, great, because now they're still level on points with them in joint third. But you think, does Postecoglou, I know we don't know much about him, but does he keep up with this in 2 years if they're like fighting for the title?
It sounds like it in interviews.
Yeah, no, I think so. And what you need to remember is that, like, obviously he was almost like starting from scratch, and you're sort of thinking that, like, if he starts getting players who fit that system in more, and over the next couple of transfer windows and that, he's obviously had to train those players to play that way now. If he starts getting in players who he thinks are already that style, that kind of philosophy of player, then I think that only improves. It's one of those styles of football where, like, if it's not going well, it's horrible, and as like a fan, it's just so nerve-wracking. But you've got to kind of trust it. But it seems that they've got the players there to do it, and as I say, I think that'll only improve in terms of he will start picking up more players who he thinks can do that. Whereas, Romero, centre back and stuff, is he that type of centre back? I'm not too sure. I wouldn't have said that he was beforehand. He's obviously coached him into doing it now. If next summer Postecoglou's sort of noted the centre back who fits it more, does Romero get dropped? If you understand what I mean, I think
people are raving about him this season, though, aren't they?
Yeah, no, that's what I mean. I think he's played quite well. But
saw Spider-Man giving an interview about it.
Yeah,
Tom Holland was saying how well Romero had started the season.
I thought he was in character.
As Spider-Man, or
yeah, full lycra.
He was actually on the top of the Empire State at the time.
Yeah, I think you wouldn't have, like last year, I don't think you would have said Romero is possibly that type of defender. He might be, I don't know, but you just wouldn't have guessed him to be that kind of player.
Like that Udogie you're talking about, like they even highlighted it on the commentary, like early on, he's getting run ragged by Saka, isn't he? Did he get booked? He got booked quite early, didn't he?
I'm not too sure.
And then even for that goal, like you're looking at him and you're thinking the amount of space there is between him and Saka, and then they even kept saying about Brennan Johnson, like he's looking lazy, he's not tracking back, but Postecoglou's almost giving him permission not to.
Mm-hmm.
And you think most managers at that point, if they see the fullback getting run ragged by one of the best wings in the world, they'll do something about it. And in fairness, he kind of just, I don't want to use the Arsenal thing, but they just like trust the system, don't they?
Yeah.
Or trust the process, whatever they say. And it's like, he does seem to know what he's doing, and he's going to stick with it to the end.
Yeah, it's obviously it's like an exciting style of football in it, and I think, in the games I've seen them play, they don't seem to change it. It's that's just something that the way you play that, you are going to make mistakes, and you are going to lose the ball on the edge of your box. If you weren't going to risk doing that, you just wouldn't play that style of football, because that's just going to happen.
Yeah.
So I think having players like Maddison there who will just take the ball anywhere on the pitch and just want to get on it and do something makes a difference. I think you can't do it with players with no ball. You need players who actually want to get on the ball and stuff.
Did you get onto the interview the other day when he was beefing with Saka?
Oh yeah, with his the darts.
Yeah. Did you go onto that pub?
I thought that was
No.
quite funny, to be fair.
No,
No,
because you said you hated Vardy for like being a wind-up, and then Maddison gave that interview, didn't he, about Saka doing a celebration. That was great.
Yeah, I mean, they're obviously
That's, I
good
mean,
friends.
the mate are these.
He wouldn't have said it, would he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
no,
it's
yeah,
easy to do with a dart than a full roast dinner as well, isn't it?
Yes, the showman, isn't he? He's a
Yeah.
showman when he goes out for a roast dinner, whatever that means.
I reckon that is the worst thing anyone has ever said.
He said that it was like, that's not what he actually said. And he said
But
something
it
like,
definitely was.
he said something like, when he goes out for dinner, he likes to like be the person who like makes jokes and that and at the table and stuff, and he likes to sort of be the chatty one. But it's been like written as if like he's a showman because he goes out for a roast dinner.
And he
so
orders everything for everybody.
Yeah.
if you're an Arsenal fan though, how are you feeling about this about the squad?
Better than I do about being an Everton fan.
But I think like we looked at the injuries anyway, and they've got like what's his name, Timber's out, Martinelli's now out. They've got a couple of others, haven't they? And then Declan Rice goes off, and he bring on Jorginho, who about 3-4 years ago was he runner up in the Ballon d'Or, and he does that. Do you know what I mean? I just think he's not. If I was an Arsenal fan, I wouldn't be struck with loads of confidence that they're going to be in this for the long run at this point.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, I think the league's probably just looking like it's a bit of a 2-horse race already.
Yeah.
But I think Arsenal's squad's quite good, to be fair. The bench is, I think the bench is very good. I think most of their bench probably plays for, gets into most other teams, I think. Maybe bar like the top one, top two.
Who's on that bench that you rate?
I think Jorginho's quite good. Obviously, he made a mistake, but I think he is actually quite good.
No, I mean, when he bought him, I thought it was a good buy. But you think like that's his bread and butter, that, or it should be.
Yeah, he tried to just do a bit of piece of skill, didn't he? He just like messed it up completely.
We've all been there.
I actually think I know Havertz has had a terrible start, but I actually don't think he's that bad. I actually don't think Havertz is that bad.
After Ian Callum, he's garbage.
Correct.
I think he's not. Although he's on the 007 at the moment, isn't he? Which is not great.
The what?
007, 7 games, 0 goals, 0 assists.
That's 700 then.
No, I think there's a few. I don't know. I think their bench is fairly strong, but
you haven't listed anybody that's actually good here, Callum.
Emil Smith Rowe, he's
good.
For
God's sake.
Smith Rowe.
Emil Smith Rowe is very good. He is. Emil Smith Rowe is very good.
Why?
Why is he good? He just is. I think he's a good player. Good centre mid. I think he gets into a lot of other teams. I just think he doesn't get a real chance. I think the problem with Arsenal is they just have got their starting 11, and that's kind of it. And he's quite set on that. I don't think it's a case of like the others aren't good enough. I just think he has a bit of a set at 11. But obviously, I think the drop off between, like, say, Rice and Jorginho is quite big. But I think Jorginho is actually quite a decent player.
Yeah, it's a good bench, that, isn't it? Smith Rowe as well.
Jorginho,
Ramsdale,
Rammers. He can clap, can't he? Claps Raya, so that must be good.
Yeah. Great fella. Right, I think it's time then we have a look at next week. So let's pick our chosen game for this week.
These are the rules. We select 3 matches from this week's fixtures, which are entered into the Wheel of Fortune. This will randomly select our featured game. This match will be the focus of our discussions, predictions, and most importantly, our game of keeping up appearances. Once our fixture has been chosen, we'll use an online generator to provide a target number for our game. For us, this is anything between 50 and 450. Our job then is to think of a player who's made that many appearances for either of our selected teams. Whoever's closest wins. Each week, 4 points will go to the closest person, 3 points for second place, 2 points will go to third place, and the person who's furthest away gets 1. These points will be accumulated over the whole season, and we'll update our league table each week.
So, our 3 chosen games for this weekend are Man United against Palace, Fulham at home to Chelsea, and Newcastle against Burnley. Let's spin the wheel. And our chosen game is Newcastle against Burnley.
We are picking some Newcastle players.
Yeah, what an exciting game this will be.
Could be.
But yeah, only if they batter them like they battered Sheffield United.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think again, you can only probably see one winner. I think most games you spoke about already this season, it's like, yeah, you can only see one winner.
Yeah.
But I think Burnley obviously drew a win. Don't see it happen against Newcastle having beat Sheffield 8-0. They're going to be riding high.
Yeah.
Newcastle at home.
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't fancy anything else.
Only see Newcastle win, to be fair. They're just like good momentum, obviously good confidence.
Do we think, though, that 8-0 the other day, is that a case of Newcastle being great or Sheffield United being terrible or just a bit of both? Because from what I saw, Sheffield United looked absolutely woeful.
I think it's a bit of both.
I think
it's a bit of both, but an extreme case of that.
Yeah.
I think it's like both, and it's obviously both and a lot of luck.
Well, yeah, I mean, you look at that first goal, like where do you two stand on that in terms of that anti-Gordon handball?
Yeah, I think that just happens. It's obviously just skipped up and hit his hand, and yeah, I don't think it was deliberate. So yeah, we'll give them that. But let's be honest, I mean, I don't think it's really affected the game, has it? I think it's they go on and win it. So
yeah, I know.
I think the important thing to say is that Sheffield United only conceded 3 once Tom Davies had come off the bench. So make of that what you will.
Right direction.
Exactly. Oh, I forgot. They're my two mates playing against each other, aren't they? Anthony Gordon, Tom Davies.
One of them's a snake. One of them's a snake. The other one's a nice lad. So
I know. That's why I was down the middle. I couldn't possibly support either team. The thing for me with that ball, though, like, I don't really know the rules anymore. It used to be if there's handball at all in the build-up, it's disallowed. I don't know if that's still the case, but that was the first goal, and I think if you're Sheffield United, I don't know if that goal doesn't go in, that's a different game.
I suppose they only scored another 7 as well.
Yeah, but it changed things like that. Change games, Bob. Maybe not to the same extent. They might have lost 5-0, but I don't know. I just think at 1-0, going down like that, your head to go, and then from that point, like that second goal was Lewis. What's his name? Not Lewis Dunk. The big.
He's only got 4 fingers on one hand, hasn't he?
so have I.
4 digits, I mean. I'm sure he's missing a finger.
He is.
Okay, well,
you might get cancelled here. This is very inclusive, is it?
Yeah,
disability.
Edit that out.
Yeah, the second goal was Dan Burn, free at the back post, and then I think the next one after that was a set piece. Mm-hmm. It was just like schoolboy footy, and I just thought like Newcastle didn't even have to like break a sweat at that point. And then second half, I don't know if you want to watch the highlights back, like, but it's just like soccer aid. Do you know when like Seedorf decides he wants to turn it on against like Ben Shepherd and that? Like it's honestly ridiculous.
Did he come off the bench?
Yeah, him and Tom Davies.
To be fair, I think like when you get games like that, it's very rare that it's like an 8-0 like unbelievable performance by the winning side. If you know what I mean, like they've played like that well to score 8 goals. I think once it gets like 4, the other team just give up,
capitulate, don't they?
Yeah, it's just a lot of luck, and just everything goes your way, and like you hit 4-0 and the game's just gone and things happen, and it's just like compounds, and it just goes obviously against your favour when you get beaten, just for you when you win, and kind of thing. And the losing team try stupid things and panic, and the other team obviously are trying different passes and playing with a bit more freedom. I just think, it gets carried away very quickly. So I think it's. Listen, I wouldn't go overboard on Newcastle's performance in terms of like, oh my God, they've scored 8 goals, how unbelievable. But it's a very convincing win, and very impressive that they got 8 different goal scorers as well, which I think is a point to be made.
Enjoyable. Yeah.
And that's decent.
Right. Predictions then? Anyone want to go first?
8-0. I reckon Burnley are actually due like a decent performance where it might be a bit competitive. I will go with, you know what, I might go with like 3-2 Newcastle.
Bold.
Bob?
I'm already at the stage when I'm just praying that teams that are playing against our relegation rivals just start battering them. So I might go 4-0 Newcastle.
Oh, I was going to go 4-0 in honour of Dan Burns' fingers.
Did you?
Did you? You've taken that one.
Got 5 on the other hand.
Go ahead, I'll go 5-0 then. Yeah.
Good shouts.
Yeah, so
what,
just to recap.
What does Tosh think?
Yeah, Tosh, what about you?
Someone needs
It's a great prediction, that Tosh.
Can someone impersonate him?
Yeah, so just to recap, Callum's gone 3-2, Bob's gone 4-0, and I've gone 5-0.
And Tosh has gone 18-4.
Yeah, what an idiot. I think, is that Dan Burns' toes, is it?
Yeah.
18 on one foot, 4 on the other.
Okay, so it's time for another instalment of Keeping Up Appearances. So Sean's going to spin the wheel to get a random number. And we're going to pick a player for either Newcastle or Burnley that's made that number of appearances. Take it away, Sean.
Just as a side note for the number, I don't actually spin a wheel.
Oh, you don't do it?
It's fine, I'll leave it. Like it. No.
I reckon we should buy her a wheel.
Seems like a bit of a pointless expense, Bob.
You know what I'm like, Sean.
Okay, so our numbers are in. And our number today is 95.
Ooh.
Another low number. Don't like the low ones.
95. I'm just glad it's not 170 something. I've been over 100 out on both of those, Bob.
Oh, right, okay. I'm sorry, Sean.
95. No current players.
It's not what we said for low ones. I think we did, didn't we? For when we did City was like 80 odd, and we said no.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Right, we'll take a couple of minutes then to have a little think, and we'll be back when we've got our answers. See you then.
I reckon you need like interlude music, like a lift.
I normally do. I put someone in on the podcast.
Oh, do you? I've never listened to one.
Busted.
Did you see? I seen Busted in town last week.
Did you?
As in,
well, so did I.
Intentionally.
And I seen them like they were by you know, by where you cross over from Lime Street to like by the Sainsbury's.
Oh
yeah.
Like
they were all outside the Sainsbury's. Yeah.
Like getting a meal deal, or
might have been there, to be fair.
They were great, by the way.
Was it good? Yeah.
I don't care, but they
was it the arena? Because they did like a in-store thing, didn't they? In
in the
Jacaranda.
Yeah, no, man,
or like phase one. Yeah,
it was great. Oh no, guess what? This is mad, and you two might not care, but the two women sat in front of us at the gig were updating Setlist FM after every song.
Oh,
really?
That's heroic. That
which I've never seen in action before, but
no, it's important though, isn't it?
Well, I mean, it's not considering it's the same songs as every other gig in the same tour, but
but you need to keep those things updated.
Oh no, but I wonder if she works for Setlist FM and she just goes to every gig, or if she's just like a
nerd.
Well, I was going to say nerd, but yeah, she might be a nerd.
I was going to say, going back to Keeping Up Appearances, did you see Griffin shared it?
Yeah.
And some like woman commented, so like, that's my favourite lady or something, because you know it's the picture of Keeping Up Appearances. Like, she obviously didn't know like what was happening. She was just must have.
Did she not spot James Milner? No,
no, I don't think she must have thought like just that you just put like an episode of it.
Get in.
Right, okay, I should probably think we'll play, shouldn't I?
No, yeah.
Would Shola Amiobi have had more than 97 games? No.
Sammy might.
Sammy might. Yeah, so yeah, I've gone Burnley.
Who are you going, Rob?
Going Burnley, unless me and Callum have got the same player.
Okay, I've got our Newcastle. I've got two Newcastle, but I'll obviously choose one of them. Are you ready then?
Yeah.
Guys, you two go then, because you might have each other's.
You won for last week, so you go first, Cal.
That's right, Bob. Thanks, Bob.
What a gent.
You are so gentlemanly. So I really was struggling to think of a Newcastle player who I thought might have been there for a couple of seasons. I don't know why, but I just couldn't think of anyone really. So I kind of went with Burnley. I went with a bit of an Everton connection. Someone who I think was probably there for maybe a couple of seasons. Possibly was on loan before he actually moved there though, which might change things for the worse possibly. But yeah, going on a basis of maybe spending a couple of seasons there, a couple and a half seasons there, I'm going to go with Michael Keane.
Not who I was going to go for.
So yeah, as I say, I have no idea if that would be close on. I'm just thinking that when he was there, he probably played like nearly every game, being a centre back, being like one of their mainstay centre backs. He probably would have played every game. Yeah, just hoping that he was only there for a few seasons, really. But I'm trying to think of his age. I think is he a similar age to us?
Yeah, but born 93.
Yeah, so possibly there for what did he go there from United?
I think he went on loan initially.
Yeah, possibly.
Then
what
probably
age?
had like I reckon 2.5 years. He had
early 20s, couple of seasons there then. So yeah, Michael Keane.
Then we got him for an absolute bargain. We done.
Yep.
And surprisingly, again, going for an Everton link, going for Burnley. I don't know what I just assumed we would have gone for the same player when you started saying Everton link, but I'm going for Aaron Lennon. He had 2 spells at Burnley, and he was coming to the end of his career, so I don't think he will have played every game, but still probably made quite a few appearances. So I'll go Aaron Lennon.
I wouldn't have even thought him, to be fair.
When were his 2 spells, Bob?
He went to Burnley after us, then had a year in Turkey, I think.
And then went back to Burnley?
Yeah, and then retired.
Oh, fair enough.
I wouldn't even know if that would be close or not, to be fair. I wouldn't know.
Not me.
I'll trust your judgment, Bob.
Yeah.
I went Newcastle, and I got 2 players in my head. I got 2 players who I really liked. But again, I don't know. I think they were there similar time, but I don't know how long they were there. The one I'm not going to go with, but I might regret it, is Damien Duff, who
sent them down, didn't he?
Did he?
Didn't he make a really bad mistake in the game against Villa?
Did he?
When he first went down, I'm sure it was Damien Duff's fault.
Because if I'm right, was he Chelsea to Newcastle, then to Fulham?
Yeah.
Or was it another way? That way? Okay.
Sounds about right.
So I'm not going for him. But if my other one's terrible, then remember that I said him, because that might be good. But my second one is he's one of my favourite players, not like as in I loved him, but he's just kind of like, he was a bit mad. He was at the time when I used to play Pro Evo.
I guess who you're going to say?
Go on.
Is it Lauren Robert?
No, it's not.
Oh.
You're thinking of me love of the film Goal, aren't you?
Yeah. That's where I thought you were going with it.
Oh, no.
We could have said one of them, couldn't we?
Yeah. Do you want to do it again and say
Start again.
No, I'm going for Obafemi Martins.
Ooh. Very good FIFA player.
But I remember him off Pro Evo. But then, I think, when did he go there? Mid-2000s? I
think he...
It's just fact. 6,
whenever...
7,
I think he was the number 9 after Shearer, so whenever Shearer retired, I think.
What was that? 2006, something like that?
Something like that.
I would have guessed somewhere like the...
But then, I remember Birmingham, because he scored against Arsenal in the League Cup final for Birmingham, didn't he?
Yeah.
In 2010, something like that. Was it 9? I don't know. I've got no idea how long he was there.
Did he play for Newcastle?
I just know.
Was he in goal?
He used to do backflips and that to his boss.
And he was absolutely
95 backflips, I think, was the challenge.
But yeah, there's my answer. So, right, yeah. Just Tosh, what do you think?
Should we say someone daft?
Yeah, go on.
Can you edit Tosh's voice to be really high pitched?
If you want,
just be funny, wouldn't it?
Why now though? Just other than that anyway.
Because it's going to be dead obvious that it's not him. Because we're like cut.
Oh, you mean it's going to be obvious that he's not with us because it's
Yeah.
going to sound something
Yeah,
different.
just emphasise that he's absent. God rest the soul.
Okay, yeah, sounds good.
All right, then, just so you know, my head's scrambled. So after a busy couple of days, so I'm going to use that as my excuse if it's a terrible guess.
One of my first thoughts was a current player thinking 95, and I was wondering maybe one of the Longstaff brothers, but I actually couldn't remember either of their first two names, and I thought that would be, I couldn't cheat, so I'm going to have to go away. My actual answer is going to be Demba Ba. Again, I can't remember how long he was there. Didn't seem to be there an awful amount of time. I'm thinking maybe 2-3 seasons. He might not be close. I'm actually not too sure, but yeah, Demba Ba, my answer. See you all next week.
Okay, so the results are in. I've checked all 4 answers on transfermarket.com, and it's now time to reveal this week's standings. So in 4th place, with an answer of 57, is Tosh. Unfortunately, I think his busy weeks obviously had an impact there, and his answer is 38 out, which is uncharacteristic for Tosh. In 3rd place, with a score of 108, which is a very good score, only 13 out, it's Michael Keane. So that puts Callum into 3rd place. Now, if 3rd place is only 13 off, the other two must be decent. And they are, in fact, only separated by a point. So the winner this week is won by a point. And it's either me or Bob. In 2nd place, with 104, which is 9 out, it's Obafemi Martins. So that's me in 2nd place. And of course, Bob, whose answer Aaron Lennon had a score of 87, putting him 8 out. That means Bob's our winner this week. So, well played, Bob. Pulled that answer out of nowhere, but fair play. It's got you the 4 points this week. Time to turn our attention again then to our league table. After 8 games, Tosh remains on top with 23, but that gap is definitely getting smaller. Sean and Bob are actually joint 2nd, as opposed to joint 3rd, because it sounds better, with 21 points. And Callum still on the bottom with 18.
So it was another great episode of Keeping Up Appearances. Previewed what we hope will be an exciting game in Newcastle with Burnley. See if Newcastle can keep up their good run of form. So yeah, we'll see how we get on next week. Catch you there.
Do that again, Callum. That was
What's happened to you,
terrible.
mate?
Don't you know what that means? Because I was trying to like.
Stop trying to
Like,
sound
catch
cool.
me outside. When people ask me if I like football, I say yes, I do like football, but not Burnley. Burnley can off. You can beef out the.
Can't. Gotta.
Can't you?
We'll be demonetised.
Really?
Yeah, because we're making loads of it up at the minute.